Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be building this massive Lego Star Wars set. Let's get into it. So what specifically is this set? This is the Imperial light cruiser from season 2 of The Mandalorian. It came out summer 2021 and has 1,306 pieces, and it is massive. Of course, we won't know exactly how big this set is until we actually build it, so let's get into it.
Instructions.
Look at this
beefy boy.
There are so many pages in this thing. Specifically 269. So this is going to take a while, but I'm excited, so let's start building. So that took hours. Probably like 3 building sessions over 4 hours, and like one of those that took up the majority of the time was like 3 hours long. So it was a long time. But building is arguably the most fun part of any Lego set, so I'm glad that there was so much to build. This Lego set was well over 1,000 pieces and is easily the biggest set I've ever built, so it makes sense that it took that long to build. Now focusing more on the set itself, it is massive. The absolute size of this is so impressive. It's almost 2 feet long, which is insane for a Lego Star Wars ship. From tail to tip, it measures about 1 foot and 10 inches, so very impressive. Overall, I think what made me choose this set over all the other ones I was looking at was definitely its size. I really wanted to get a big, impressive battleship, and that's certainly what I got, so it does not disappoint there. Surprisingly, it's not quite as heavy as it looks. It's actually quite light. That's probably accounted for a lot of the hollow space that's within it. A lot of this isn't really solid brick, and there's also a large hangar space within here that takes up a lot of hollow space. So nice and light and transportable. Looking at the design of the set, it's awesome. It looks absolutely amazing. The paneling and the details on the sides are especially impressive in my opinion. If you look at some images of the actual Imperial light cruiser from the show, they got the design pretty dang close. I think they could have made this gap right here a little bit more thin in order to be more true to the design, but there is a really cool interactive feature attached to it, so I'm glad they built it how they did. This set did get me thinking about how LEGO really should make a Star Destroyer set around this size and price. For the most part, especially in recent years with the new UCS Star Destroyer, most of LEGO Star Destroyer sets have been around the UCS size. Granted, we did get 1 or 2 smaller Star Destroyer sets in the past years, but those have since retired. But anyway, back to the light cruiser. Very impressive design. This will work as an awesome display piece. Now moving on to the overall playability of this set, I'd say it definitely checks out. This is going to be a display piece for me, but I know that a lot of kids are going to want to bring this bad boy into their battlefields. This is a pretty sturdy build from what I can tell. There's no section of it that like moves around or looks like it's gonna fall off at the slightest mishandling, so definitely pretty sturdy. It's also definitely easy to pick up and move around. Very nice and transportable. It has 2 nice dual laser cannons that can shoot and be aimed for some extra precise accuracy. So they rotate like this and they shoot. Ooh. If you lift up the hangar roof here, you can look into the hangar for a little bit of extra interactivity. So that's really fun. It's a lot of fun posing your minifigs in this little battle here. All 6 minifigs can fit in the hangar without much difficulty. However, there are some areas that you can't place the minifigs if you want to still be able to close the roof, such as like kind of near the edges, like around the fronts or the sides. So you can see I have all 6 minifigs in the hangar, but I can still close the roof pretty dang easily. By far my favorite interactive feature of this set is these 2 little I just broke it. These 2 microfighter TIE fighters. I saw them on the box and I thought they'd just be like, oh, little interactive things, kind of just like detached from the set, kind of just floating around. But they're actually 2 neat little hangar bays here that you can put them in, and it makes for such a cool little detail. And I thought that's super fun. I love microfighters. I have a whole bunch of them. I gotta make a video on that sometime, but I absolutely love that feature. It's super cool to me that they've incorporated these little microships into a bigger set. It really gives some nice scale to the set and makes it feel really big. In addition to the 2 little docking bays they could be placed in, the TIE fighters also have another little feature where they could be launched from the front of the ship here. If you open up the hangar roof and you place the TIE fighter, I don't know if you can see it, right here along this runway, it's a little bit hard to position them. You can take this lever, or you could take this knob and push it forward. It didn't launch very far. You could take this knob and push it forward and it'll launch out like that, so super fun. When I was building this model, I kept waiting to see what this piece would be for, and by the time I was done, I never found out, and I was really confused why LEGO would add this piece if it didn't have any function. A little bit later, my brother was checking it out and asked what the piece did, and I was like, I got no idea. And he suggested that it might be for the TIE fighters, and I was like, that's what it's for. And I'm stupid because it was literally on the box art. So I'm stupid, but I found it out, and that's the important thing. But super fun feature, glad they added that. Really adds to the playability of this set as a whole. Now that we've covered the light cruiser, let's move on to the minifigs. This set comes with 5 minifigures, 6 if you count Grogu. That's a very substantial amount considering that 5 of the 6 minifigures are major main characters. Most of the time when you get this many minifigures in one set, there will usually be like 1 or 2 battle droids or stormtroopers mixed in. But considering this set's price, I think this many hero character minifigures were definitely in line. Up first for our minifigs, we have the Mandalorian himself, and can I just say, this figure looks absolutely amazing. They did a very good job staying true to his design from the show, and it overall looks very nice. I very much like the nice light silver they used for his Beskar armor. I believe there are around 3 or 4 variations of this minifigure, and I think all other ones use this dark gray metallic color for his Beskar elements. I have another one right here from the, one of the other sets from the first season, and I remember seeing it and being really surprised that they made his armor dark gray. because it doesn't look very true to how it was portrayed in the show. So I think this light silver looks a lot more similar to his shiny Beskar armor in the show. I also very much like how they incorporated this nice shiny Beskar spear. That was one of my favorite elements of the show. I thought that was really neat, so I'm very much glad they included it here. He also comes with an extra weapon, his nice Ambin sniper rifle, if you want to swap it out. It looks very nice. Weapons aside, I think this minifigure has some really nice printing. His Beskar elements are nice and reflective, which is really nice. You have a lot of great detail with all of his leather bits. Even got some printing on his back, even though his cape's covering it. So very nice. This detail really does make a difference. It really adds to a more detailed and more complete look to the minifigure. So LEGO did a very good job on this figure. Our next minifigure that we'll be checking out is Moff Gideon, and like Mano, this figure looks amazing. They did a really good job replicating him from the show into minifigure form. Like, you could definitely tell this is him from first glance, so very nice. He does have some very nice torso printing, regardless that he does not have any leg printing. I personally think that LEGO should have done a little bit of light leg printing. It kind of would have completed the overall look of this figure and kind of would have gone the extra mile to make it look that much better. But still, he doesn't really need it. Black legs fit him just fine, and he still looks pretty good. I also very much like this nice black and red dual colored cape. It's a really intricate design. Very much like that. Really adds to the detail of this figure. Now, moving on to the crowning jewel of this minifigure, we have the Darksaber. And I think I could speak for a lot of LEGO fans. Personally, I was very much anticipating to see how LEGO would replicate this piece. Would they make a custom mold, or would they make it just like this? Personally, I very much like this design. I like how it's literally just like any other LEGO lightsaber, but with a black lightsaber beam. I think that's very cool personally. Really though, I think LEGO definitely should have made a custom mold for this piece. I don't think it would have been too difficult, and the results would have been well worth it. The Darksaber in the show has a very unique design that very much differentiates itself from other lightsabers, and I think that could have shown through really nice in LEGO form. The Darksaber is also a very legendary and iconic weapon, and one that I'm sure many LEGO fans like myself would have wanted replicated into more of a detailed LEGO piece. In addition to that, I think it really could have upped the set value. Like, if you saw like on the box, like, dang, this is like the one set with the Darksaber, that would have really been an appeal, and I think it might have increased sales a bit. Still, I think this piece turned out really cool. It really complements this figure well, and I think it overall is a very good design. Next up on our list of minifigures is Cara Dune. Now, I don't have a whole lot to say about this minifigure. I didn't really like her design in the show, so it's kind of natural that I don't really like her design as a minifigure. Still, I think LEGO did a very good job replicating her character into minifigure form. The printing is really nice, and there's some reflective elements, and it overall makes for a fairly appealing minifigure. I also like her weapon. It's a nice sniper rifle. I like how they had this kind of dark metallic gray lightsaber bit at the end. Kind of adds for that extra detail. Still, it would have been kind of nice if they had chosen a different weapon for her, because our next minifigure on this list has the exact same rifle, and I really think she should have had it instead. That brings us to Fennec Shand, and oh my, does this minifigure look awesome. Her printing is super intricate and detailed. You can see it's got a ton of really neat little color and metallic elements all over there. Super nice. It's on the arms, it's on the legs, it's on the back. It's awesome. Her head printing, also very nice, double-sided. Looks very much like her character in the show. Very nice. And as I talked about before, she does have this very nice sniper rifle. It is the exact same sniper rifle as Cara Dune, but still very cool. Now, by far, my favorite element of this minifigure is definitely this helmet, and this thing just looks awesome. It's dual colored. You got the nice orange, and you got the nice black mouthpiece. It's super unique. It's very intimidating looking. This helmet was very well designed in the show, and it just translated over beautifully into minifigure form. So this very well complements the minifigure and makes for an overall very nice design. Last up on our list for full-scale minifigures is the Dark Trooper, and I absolutely love the design of this minifigure. I think LEGO did a very good job translating the cool and intimidating design of the Dark Trooper into minifigure form. He has a lot of intricate pieces, such as this helmet. Now, I really like this helmet. For some reason, it kind of gives me 2005 Clone Trooper vibes. I don't know why. It's kind of, I guess the helmet shape is a little bit similar. Plus, you have the eye holes rather than direct eye printing, kind of like those Clone Troopers had. And it relies on the head printing underneath, like this. This is fairly nice. I like how they didn't just add just one red strip, because that's really all they would have needed, because that's the only thing visible, as you can see. But they decided to go in and add a little extra detail just to kind of, you know, differentiate. They even put back printing on it. Wow, they really didn't need to do that, but it's cool that they did. My favorite element of this figure probably is this nice, I guess, chest armor piece, you would call it. Now, I absolutely love this piece. I've seen that LEGO has added it into a couple of their Star Wars sets, such as the Mandalorian set with Paz Vizsla in it, as well as the Ned B droid from the Kenobi series. Very nicely complements any minifigure it's put on. It adds for that nice bulky armored look, and I very much like that. Other than the armor and the helmet, this figure does have some very nice printing. It has a lot of sort of reflective, shiny silver elements on it. That seems to be a common theme amongst the minifigures in this set. So overall, very nice. No arm printing, but that's all right. It also comes with this nice, pretty standard, dark metallic gray blaster, a classic, but very nice. So very nice figure overall, probably tied with Fennec Shand for my third favorite minifigure in this set. Very nice, very well designed. And last but not quite least, we have Grogu, or the child, or Baby Yoda, or whatever you want to call him. There's like 1,000 names for him these days. I'm not quite certain he's considered a minifigure. I think he's technically like a baby piece, which might just be considered more of a piece rather than a minifigure, but I'm going to call him a minifigure because it sounds cooler to say it has 6 in this set rather than 5. I can't say I love the design of this piece. I don't think they quite pulled off the cute and cuddly vibe that Grogu had in the show, and the minifigure version kind of turned out a little more
haunting.
Granted, I acknowledge that this would be a very difficult piece to pull off into Lego form, and I kind of think that they did the best that they could. So that considered, decent piece, decent minifigure, whatever you want to call it. I like it. He may not look the best, but I still think he adds a lot of value to this set. And there you have it. That is every part of this set done and reviewed. I forgot to mention earlier, this set does sell for $160, not including sales tax. That can vary depending on your area. Is it worth the bang for your buck? I think so. I'm very much satisfied. It really does depend on what you like. It may be, it may not be, but I liked it. Especially taking into account the recent LEGO price hike, I think the price is fairly justified. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was informative. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and let me know what set I should review next. I'll see you next time. Bye.